Colonization is like ice cream. It's present everywhere in the world, varies by region and context, differs by everyone's relative, subjective experience to it, is cold at heart, and if left alone in the spotlight for long enough, will melt. Well, that is, unless there's a systemic process to entrench it, covertly and overtly reinforce it, and educate people to prevent it from melting. But that doesn't seem healthy. And for sure, if left in the shadows, it will just stick around.
This video is meant to explore what it means to be an ally, an advocate, and an accomplice. Our goal is to help empower our peers, our friends, everyone who wants to bring colonization out of the shadows and work to make it melt away. We are not experts on this topic, but we wanted to share our learnings from this course with all of you. In this COVID-19 ravaged semester, all of us faced enormous challenges, as well as new opportunities. Our video is a product of both the self-reflection we had the opportunity to engage in and the resource and time constraints we faced. It marks the beginning of what is a lifetime's worth of work. This video is a product of our work thus far, but it is a pause in our journey, not a stop.
Language, land, community, culture, history, and issues are all intrinsically interconnected. In order for Dakota culture, including spiritual, familial, and land-based knowledge to survive and thrive now and for many generations into the future, Dakota language must be maintained, cared for, and lived in. We, as non-Indigenous people, must strive to understand this and recognize that we can work towards fluency, but never expertise.
Ao matakuepi, iushkia wachiakapi, Aaron amakiapi, da makota shni, o mawapi shni, oyate matawaki, washichu iwichakiapi. South Dakota, makobashbe hetia tahawahi. South Dakota, ed matumpi, I yamtuan, o tuwe ed imachache, Bedeota edwati, Minnesota makoche edwati.
Ha matakiapi, iushkean ewachiakapi. Emma emakiapi, damakota shni, omawapi shni, oyate metawakin hazidan ga washichu ewichakiapi. Minnesota makovashve hetia tahawahi. Minnesota ed matumpi. Duluth ed imachache. Bedeota edwati. Minnesota makoche edwati. Language learning is a part of doing decolonizing work, part of being an ally. But what does that mean? What does being an ally look like, feel like? Being an ally is far more than a self-appointed identity, some kind of badge to wear that signals you're one of the good guys. It's about disrupting oppressive spaces by educating others on the realities and histories of marginalized people. It's researching to learn more about the history of Dakota communities, building relationships based on mutual consent and trust, and risking your voice to elevate others. Being an ally is a sign of privilege, and it's a lifelong process rooted in action that requires humility and ongoing critical self-reflection. An advocate can, in some ways, be viewed as an increased level of risk-taking in your decolonizing work. It usually involves taking action politically, trying to take a stand for equitable policies. Depending on the depth of your experiences, your personal power, and your readiness to work in a different way, you may do your decolonizing work as an accomplice, working within a system like the University of Minnesota to directly challenge institutionalized and systemic racism, colonization, and white supremacy by blocking or impeding racist people, policies, and structures. Allies, advocates, and accomplices play important parts in anti-oppressive work, and all are ongoing processes of being and doing.
Well, I think it's very important not only to experience discomfort, but to hold it and to allow it to teach me, because discomfort is a very powerful learning dynamic. And I believe that is very important through all of my experience and work. And I try to hold it and learn from it as a way to develop myself. And I think that it's been an invaluable part of my own learning and development. One of the things I hear from Indigenous communities a lot in terms of a question that they will ask is, why are you here? What is your interest in being here? Why are you here? What is your interest? What is your reason for being here? And, a lot of people aren't prepared to address that. It's amazing how a lot of people, a lot of times it's a project or a funded project or, some obligation from an institutional context that puts people there. And that is a very loud message for Indigenous communities. If they don't feel something from within, if they aren't talking and responding from themselves as a human being, communities are so sensitive to that because they've had all these years of people coming in and doing things for their own benefit, not for the community's benefit. And, part of this is I believe institutions strip us of our humanity, especially if we aren't careful over time, and it can just erode over time. And we have to recover that in ourselves. And if we're able to do that, I think communities can see that and recognize that. And I think that's why I was so fortunate to have a lot of mentorship from within communities. I mentioned going up to White Earth in a bus for a traditional ricing camp. Over 20 years, we've taken over 800 students up there to White Earth to be taught by the traditional White Earth community, the traditional ricers, and the knowledge holders, and the people who carry the stories of the people and their teachings. And I don't allow them to do that. The whole weekend is organized by them, and I'm there to participate. And what I do is help work with students to debrief, to clarify, to have conversations, to try to help them make meaning out of what goes on and how the elders and how the community members spoke with them.
Thank you all for watching. We hope you've enjoyed our film, have learned something, and have taken away something actionable. It is often easy to think about helping, but not know where to go or what to do. or act and do something yourself and drive a cause yourself. Yet there is so much work already being done by Dakota communities to inspire hope and healing. Join a cause, serve as an ally, be an advocate, or even an accomplice. Pidamaya yapido, Tokshta ake.